on a big mission to document the Warburgia salutaris, or the pepperbark tree that's growing in this area in Phinda. They're very blessed to have a significant population of this very rare and endangered tree. And we're out here looking for them, greeting them, measuring them, gathering their seeds and fruit, and just getting to know what's going on with the population. We look at their size, their vigor, how they've been harvested, do they have fruit, do they have flowers. It's just a standard botanical survey so that we get a handle of how many trees, where they're distributed, and how robust the population is. Warburgias are just fascinating. You know, they are robust, fast-growing, evergreen. They tick so many boxes botanically, and they're rare. The top leaves are soft, and then they become, as they're older, darker and greener and more crispy. And the bark, as young plants, it's smooth, but as it's getting older, it gets these little lenticels, like little breathing holes. And what's interesting is they have this ability to what they call root coppice. So if the root comes to the surface and something like a buffalo walks on top of it, it grows another plant. So you might have one tree with lots of shoots that with time will eventually make a grove with a mother plant and then the little ones growing around. We've seen some really beautiful specimens. The biggest ones that I've seen ever are here in Phinda.
I think its most unique feature is its peppery taste. Scrape a little bit of the bark or a tiny bit of the leaf and chew that, and you will know whether it is the pepperbark tree or not. It really has a strong peppery flavour and taste that lingers for a long time. It's a tree that's become highly endangered due to over-harvesting for medicinal use. We're in an area of Zululand where there are a lot of traditional healers, and so the demand is very, very high. And so it's pretty much gone extinct in the wild. I mean, outside of protected areas, it doesn't occur anymore due to over-harvesting. And even in protected areas that surround us here, there's very, very few populations left.
Now, salutaris means good health. It was described as a medicinal plant, and it's actually registered as a medicine, a medicinal control council. It's like a super strong menthol, so it's like an expectorant for sinus and sore throat, cough, anything chesty, but it's across a wide range of things. It kills viruses, it's antibacterial, it's anti-fungus, it's got a whole suite of medicinal purposes. So here we've got a Warburgia tree that's been harvested for muti. The bark has been cut off. You can tell it's been done by people because it's got very clean lines. You can see straight lines of a knife or an axe or something, and they peel the bark off, and this is the medicinal component that they want. If it's left alone enough, it will eventually heal itself. So here you can see the lines where the bark was removed. This is the original bark. This is bark that's healed up. So where these populations aren't damaged or repeatedly harvested by muti collectors, they do have the ability to heal themselves.
It's a tree that we discovered about 13 years ago, and we almost by chance found out that we had possibly the largest remaining population left in South Africa. There's sort of been a drive now recently to contribute towards the recovery of the tree. We're exploring a few initiatives where we can hopefully propagate them in a nursery here, or in 2 nurseries here, and distribute the seedlings to communities surrounding Phinda and possibly further afield.
The project has been going on for quite some time in sandparks in Kruger National Park. So those lessons learned from Kruger, we've brought them to Phinda. So because this is like such a unique situation here in Phinda, to have so many plants, and the fact that we can collect seed from known plants in a known population in a protected area, it's novel. So this is groundbreaking kind of conservation work for plants that we're doing here.
So I've been involved with the Warburgia project since 2012. Okay, right at the beginning of the project, we really struggled in Kruger to find fruit and seeds. I mean, we found basically 20 odd seeds over the 8 years that I was involved with the program. So my main involvement with the program has been on propagating the tree. Essentially you pick up the fruit either from the tree, or it's usually from the floor because the trees are too high to get into. Unfortunately, most of the fruit is parasitized by fruit fly maggots. And from there you clean the seeds, you plant them into a special medium and you germinate them. They take about 6 to 8 weeks to germinate if they're really fresh. And from there you grow on the plants, and they grow fairly quickly compared with other indigenous species.
We want to be able to give the plants back to the community and reduce the pressure on the wild population so that the people won't come in and collect the plants illegally. And the idea will be to take this very sought after medicinal plant and give it to the traditional healers initially, and then as the project gains momentum, ideally we would like to have one of these trees in each of the houses in the local communities. They seem to be able to grow in a wide variety of habitats, and that makes them fantastic for community distribution because the guys can grow them next to their house, they can grow them in a pot. They are very robust. You can sustainably use the leaves, like the top 2 leaves in a bud, like you do with tea. They have the same level of medicinal action than the bark. And if you take the leaves off, you actually encourage the plant to produce more leaves. And if you cut them back, it just grows more and more. It's like pruning, the effect of pruning.
The healers have realized that they can't access as much material as they would like to because of the decline in populations of many plants, Warburgia included. So because there is such a scarcity, they are happy to have cultivated plants. Otherwise they can't continue with their profession.
With this recent survey now, we've discovered a whole lot more fruiting trees, and what we didn't know is that you know, these obviously the tree is quite rare, but where it does occur is that the fruit is those particular trees don't fruit a lot, and so we've discovered that we have an incredible abundance of fruiting trees here, literally bags and bags of fruit. So it has huge importance, not just for Warburgias themselves, but for being able to supply nurseries and communities with seed material. And you know, we have plans to store seeds in biobanks and genetic banks, etc.
The crux of this thing is we want the plants to have no value. So that's why we get sponsors in, so that there's no money changing hands with these plants. They get grown, collected, looked after, all covered under sponsorship from SAPI. Then Phinda and Beyond will take the responsibility, and Africa Foundation, to distribute them. No money will change hands. They will go for free to whatever projects, traditional healers, communities, greening projects.
Phinda is quite unique in that it's situated in the Maputoland centre of endemism, and here specifically at Phinda we have an incredible amount of specifically plant species that are endemic, which means that they only occur here, or near endemic. You know, it's something like over 150 plants and flowers. So we have a responsibility to look after plants as well. And you know, we all know without plants, insects can't survive and animals can't survive. So they play a key role in the ecosystem. I think it's a very, very important project, not just from a biological point of view, but from a human beneficiation point of view. Showing and illustrating how important it is to protect an area like Phinda, because it can have incredible benefits financially and for the well-being and health of people around it.
The lessons that we learn here, we hope to take to other areas and share the learning, share the experiences. This is a very unique situation here in Phinda. It's very, very valuable ecologically, in terms of ecosystem services, in terms of plant conservation, and to secure the population. This is a very, very pivotal population that they've got here.